Hello out there, James here. Just trying to test my, do the test run on my video. Um, Before I make sure my mic is on. Uh, yeah. Um, I had to delete this one over. Uh, I'm gonna keep doing over and over and over. I guess what I was talking about earlier, the topic was about freedom of speech. What happened with freedom of speech? I mean, as far as opinions and what you like and what you dislike, why does it seem like people are controlling people in the way they think and what they do? My feeling is that they're trying to control the narrative. For example, I'll be right back. I feel that they try to control the narrative. And the reason why I feel that way is just that with social media. The reason why I feel that they control the narrative because no matter if you person on the right or you're the person on the left, you're entitled to your own opinion. And whether you agree with something, whether you don't agree with something, you should be entitled to your own opinion. Someone should not have to control and have authority and to control someone else's opinion. And even if there's information. And you know, like the latest thing I see in Washington D.C. talking about what they're getting on, like the heads of Twitter, Facebook, Google, and all these other people. And I don't know what people think that people are going to find out information when it comes to this vaccine, whether it's good or whether it's bad. But I think it should be a choice personally, and not someone's opinion. If they don't want to take the vaccine shot, they should. But they shouldn't be guilt shaming to it, or they shouldn't be penalized for it. That's my opinion on it. That you have the opinion. If you don't want to take the shot, you shouldn't have to take the shot. And for some reason, but there's got to be another side to the side effects of what this shot produced. I think that people should have the right to know, and just find out for themselves. Because before, when this coronavirus popped up, months before last year, the doctors and nurses didn't know what the make of it is. No one didn't know how to handle this virus. They had to go somewhat restudy. And so they give them, so really, if they didn't understand the full effect of it, these are American doctors and nurses here. What makes you think that even though the vaccine, they say that it's proof, and the reason why they're telling people that they want the doctors and nurses because the hospitals get a kickback. Okay, the pharmaceutical get a kickback, the hospitals get a kickback, and if you get the COVID or something like that, it's like, you know, they make out a fat rat as far as your insurance. I mean, it's all about money. It's all about capital. Even it means if someone, your loved one died, if someone gonna have to pay that bill. I believe that's what it is. It's not about that because if it was really about saving lives or whatever to a certain degree, you would have all these people out there competing like that. And then before all these other AstraZeneca and all these other name brand products, it was Reservoir when Donald Trump was in office. Why all of a sudden that the Reservoir disappeared off the shelf, and all these other ones did. And then they so-called had to do a study, and within barely a year, they said that this is supposed to help boost to do something that kind of help with the immune system. I mean, it makes you wonder. I mean, people don't really sit down and think about that. And this was on national news. This was on the news last year, and I remember. So, it was on social media as well as last news. So, you say, wow, why is it that they give it to the president at that time, but they immediately took it off the shelf, and Donald Trump, he didn't take all these, the Moderna or the Pfizer or these other ones. When he got it. He had the Reservoir, and it helped him. And then they laid him crazy when for suggesting something like that. So it's just something. It's not adding up, man. I'm telling you, it's something. It's just that they're trying to control the narrative. That's what it is. And it's just that we literally, ladies and gentlemen, if they doing that to these social giants, and trying to say if it's hate speech or if it's misinformation, and they controlling you. First it was hate speech. They had to find a way because somebody's gonna watch Facebook and make a live with someone someone's gonna kill somebody. They were killing people back in the 90s before there was even social media. You had people that were crazy. They were gunmen. They were people with stuff like that. You're not gonna be able. I don't know. They live in this people live in this fantasy world. The United States is founded on violence. Period. And you got to defend yourself on violence. Bad situations happen all over in this time period. I mean, Timmy McVeigh took an ostrich bomb and blew up the doggone building in Oklahoma. Was that not nice? He didn't even have a gun, and he blew it up. There was other ways that people were doing stuff. They got technology. One person took technology to start shooting at the crowd. You can't stop everything. What I'm saying, but what you can do is be aware and be surrounded. But what they're trying to control is they use some strategies like, then we got to take away your rights. Okay, now they take away, they do so much background, they do much checkpoint. They try to do like in England and take all your guns away. America ain't having that. And then if they do that, then the bad guys get the gun, bad people get the gun, and then cops can't be everywhere at one time. The military or the police can't be everywhere at one time. So it's unrealistic. But they're trying to control that. They're trying to control. It's just a part in the nature of today's society. But they control it as far as that. They control it as far what we eat, what we think, what we do. It is literally going into socialism. And if you don't, if you mention certain health foods, they might kick you off for that. You get penalized off of your social media for trying to do health foods. If it's been preventing you from getting getting the virus problem. So it's like it's all capitalism. Everybody's getting a kickback off of something. And it's not about, because we really want to save people. Look, as quiet as that they kept, remember 20, 30 years ago, the church even said this. And they told this in the book of Revelation. There was going to be a people that is in power that was trying to really find a way because there's too many people on the earth. So they're trying to find different tactics and wisdom on how does it affect and how many people are going to die. This is the truth. They've been trying, they shave down a certain population of people. That's a fact. What makes you think that they're not doing it now? I mean, that's not. I mean, this was in the book. This was in the Bible. Church has been talking about this 20, 30 years. There was stuff that, the first George Bush and them said about New World Order and stuff like that. It's out there. You can't you can't deny it. Then that kind of then you got to wonder, like, dang, 30, 40 years ago, what they were talking about New World Order. I mean, it's coming. But they think that they can hide it from somebody. Then if you do, you label conspiracy theory. But it sure look like it's heading that way because we can soften you. And then come on now, you gotta take your vaccine. And then what's next if you? And the ones who don't, what they gonna do? They basically controlling you, or they gonna guilt shame you, or they gonna say that you can't buy no food. What it gonna do? Because because you're free, because you choose, and even though you can get everything measured and still don't come out with the vaccine, and still come out without catching it for the next 5, 10, 15 years. I mean, you didn't cover your face, you didn't took the herbs, the vitamins to keep your system going. What else they gonna do? It makes me wonder what else they gonna do. But it's like they're trying to control people, man. And good is turning to evil, evil turning to good. That's what you said. What's going on? I don't understand. It's good turning evil, and vice versa. It's been going on for like this for a long time. It's like you don't have no freedom of speech no more. I mean, someone makes a suggestion, they go get actual facts on YouTube, and they put it on the social network, Facebook, YouTube. Facebook, take it down. Twitter takes it down. I mean, dang, it's information. If people, it's up to the individual whether they believe it. There's some people that don't believe some stuff anyway. So, what is this, what is the big deal? People gonna believe what they're gonna believe. You can tell people the truth about something, whether they're your family, your friends, whatever. If they're gonna believe you, they're going to believe you. If they're not going to believe you, they're not going to believe you. So, you don't believe everything is up, and it's literally someone mentioned it just because you see something on YouTube or Facebook. How many people really believe that stuff? Some people that don't. So, let that person make that decision if they receive the information. And so if that's the case, then maybe, people can make up their own mind. And that's what it comes down to. If some people want to take the vaccine, that's on them. If they don't, that's on them. Then let's see where the chips fall. But if someone say, hey, if I can show you that this thing is causing problems, why are you trying to hide it? Why you want to deny it? Why are you trying to hide it? Why are you penalizing people? Well, I'm trying to hide something, which is on the Constitution, an amendment, and the right to know and decide. And slowly, we seem like we try to stand for the raising of the flag, and the Constitution and amendment and everything, but right now it's not looking that way. It's slowly being, the amendments and the Constitution, when you stand up and put your hand on your chest, whatever, they're being taken away. It's like a delusion that you patriot, but it's like how is I'm a patriot, but I still can't, I still can't have my own opinion. I can't practice on what I believe or what I say. I gotta let you tell me what you believe. As Simon said, do what I do and don't say nothing. Go figure. Is it really freedom? Is it makes you wonder. Because let me decide. Every grown person should have their own decision. Whether they want to do this something or not. No matter if it's opinion, whether you want to be a Democrat or Republican, a left or right wing or anything, I said you should be able to do that. Whether you straight or whether you're gay, whether you trans, whatever you do what you want to do. But if I don't agree with something that you don't want to do, don't hinder my rights from doing something as a human being, because you're not going to force me otherwise. If anything, some people that's withdrawn is going to say, hey, there must be something really going on here. Because people have the nature. No matter how the media can spin it off and make it seem like it's, Oh, it's so pleasant. Oh, it's so this. Somebody is gonna have, they're gonna find some truth for themselves. You can't hide truth, and somebody ain't gonna like this real, but you can't hide it. You can't hide something that when people is a DNA and research the people, they're gonna find out truth. When a man or woman comes in the truth, they're gonna find it out, and they're gonna tell it. In some way, and it's something to able to reach to the people who see it for themselves, and they got to determine if it's true or not, and it comes down to an individual. If it's true what this person's saying, it's not. But if it's not, let it be. I talked to my mom, my uncle, and a few other people about it. They went on ahead and did it, but I said I'm not going to do it. But that that's their body, that's their choice. And if you ask me why, it's because it's something that's too soon. The reason why, even though I understand that the health experts said this and they said this, but hey, everybody's for the right thing and for the right reason. And then we live in a wicked world. Satan is wicked. So he, even though they can make it seem like they're doing something good. But how do I know that they're trying to, they find some way that they know, do study that they know that whatever they give you, that if you ain't got the grace of God, this thing can knock you off in the next 5-10 years. Then all of a sudden, what if it's a situation, if you did get it and you got a bad reaction, you go into a coma and then whatever, then they say, well, one of these other symptoms causing. No, it wasn't this, and it wasn't this vaccine. It was something with he had this kind of blood clot problem or whatever. Well, what caused the blood clot?